Welcome back, everyone. My name is Ralph, and here we help each other learn how to build real systems using VB.NET. In the previous lesson, we built an interactive form using a text box, a button, and a combo box. But today, we are going to make our app even more powerful. So we'll add more controls and make our app behave like a real system. Okay, so these are the controls that I've added. As you can see, I've put a label there, a username label, then a text box, rename it to txt username on the design name there. And then this is a combo box, just drag and drop it, rename it to CMB course. CMB stands for combo box, so that we know it's a combo box when we're coding. Then these two are group boxes. You can just drag and drop and resize it and change its color, its back color right here. So it's a group box. It's actually a container for that stores other controls, right? Just like what I've did here. And these three right here, these three are your radio buttons. So they let a user choose one option, like one item from the list, right? Only one item. As I've shown here, you can only choose, like one level of study, right? A student can only choose one level of study. Yes. And then this one right here, it's a list box. It can display items and also let a user select from the items, right? Yes. And here, this is where we're gonna display our subjects. And then these ones right here, these are your checkboxes. They're different from RadioButtons. As you can see, RadioButtons are like circles, and these ones are like squares, right? So these ones, a user can choose multiple items or multiple options, right? It lets user choose multiple items. Just like here, a user can choose multiple hobbies. They do. And then here, this is where we're gonna display our dynamic message, right? This is our label. It's this thing, a label. You just have to change its property. You give it a border, and then a fixed single border, and then I've changed its text alignment and also changed its auto size to folds. Where is it? To folds, so that I can resize it. And then I've added a submit button, right, so that we can display the message, and then a clear button for the next input or the next user, right, to clear every input and output also. Yeah. So where do we begin? How do we code this thing? So first, we're gonna add items in the combo box, right? We're gonna add courses in the combo box, and then subjects in the list box. How do we do that? We're gonna load them. We're gonna put them on the load event. You just double click on the load event, on the form. And then we're gonna start by writing a comment. So this is a comment. It shows what the code below it says or what it's about, right? It's a comment. So you write it by doing this sign, that thing. I forgot its name. So yeah. Okay, let me give it some space so that it can breathe. Let's see. There. So we're gonna start by add courses into the combo box, right? So we're gonna say CMB dot items dot add range, and then the first one, it's gonna be select a course. Okay, I did a mistake here. There has to be curly brackets, so I'm just gonna put them there. Second one, I'll just say IT in robotics. Then 19. It's going to be solved when. Okay. Then let's make the combo box to show this first item. This first item, select course. We're gonna see, actually we're setting a default rate. Selected index is equal to 0, which means it's this first one, right? Then this one it's 0, then 1, and then 2, right? Okay. After that, let's add items on the, subjects on the list box. Okay, add we're gonna see list subjects dot items dot add range. Then we're gonna start by contact. I'm just gonna list any subjects. You can list any subject you wanna list. Okay. Yeah, I'll just end here. Then let's set it to multiple. I'm just gonna go back here and say list dot selection mode equals selection mode dot so that a user can select multiple subjects, right? But we're gonna use a for loop to loop around the list, right? Yeah, the items. You will see. Now we wanna program this button so that when a user clicks it, it shows everything they have typed or selected. We're gonna double click on it, then let's give it some space. First, let's start by getting the username from the user text box. Yeah, so let me give it a comment. Get username from text box. You will see these comments, they can come in because you will find out at some point you're gonna write a lot of code. So yeah, you might wanna write a comment so that you know what this code does, right? Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna start by declaring user. Okay, let me say string username as string, so that we can store whatever the user is gonna type on the text box. Is equal to text username.text. Okay. So after that, let's see if it's gonna display something. So we're just gonna put a comment display the message. We're gonna start by declaring a message variable to store the message is equal to let's just say string username. So to display string username. So to display it, we have to call this label, or I don't know if I have to say call, but you have to call this name right here, or you have to type this name. LBL result.text is equal to string message. So that's how we're gonna display it. Okay, now let's run it by pressing that play button, start button. Okay, let's see. Let me put it in the middle. Let me just type my name and press submit. Okay, so there you go. So it's working. Now let's make sure that before we move on to the combo box, let's make sure the user types their name before they can submit by validating that. Okay, we're gonna do that by, okay, let's come here under get user form from CheckBox and say we're gonna do it by an if statement. If string dot is null or empty, and then we name that text box. And I'm gonna say then let's show them by a message box. Okay, and I always try to be polite because you can't be harsh on the user, right? So you have to try to be polite by saying please enter your username, full stop. Okay, now let's name that message box. We're gonna say it's missing, username missing. Okay, and then let's give it an OK button and an error icon. Yeah, an error icon. Okay, let me just maybe, okay, so that you can see it. And then now let's exit the sub procedure so that it does it. The code stops right here before doing anything, like before moving to the next part, to the next line. This is what this thing does, exit sub. And then now we're gonna say txt username dot text, dot focus, so that it focuses on what? So that it focuses on the text box, username text box, right when the user clicks OK after this message box. Okay, let's try that. Let's try okay, let me just try to submit. Okay, see, please enter your name. Okay, see, there you go. Okay, before that, let me do this. There was a problem there. Let me see if I can fix it by doing this. Okay. Let's try that again. There you go. So you saw the mistake, right? You have to put the text, the focus text, this line before you exit the sub, so that it focuses on the text before it exits the sub. I saw that mistake. Okay, so now you get the idea that it reads the first line first. The line that comes first is the one it's gonna read. So when you're coding, always make sure that you know that. All right. Okay, now let's go on to the combo box. Since it already has items in there, now let's just make sure that the user selects before they move on. And we're gonna edit on what? We're gonna edit on our display message. On the message that's gonna be displayed. Okay, let's go on and say validate course combo box. Okay, we're gonna validate it by an if statement. If cmp dot selected index is less or equal to 0. If it's anything, if it's equal to number 1, which is 0, or less, let's display this message box. The show message box. Please select a course. Alright, let's give it a name. I'll just say course. then you can write a better name. Okay, now here I'm just gonna give it an error. Error icon. Now let's focus on the course. Let's see, and then exit sub. Let's try to run that. Let's see if it's gonna work. Let's see if it's gonna work or not. Okay, now let me type my name and then submit. Okay, now it's telling me to select a course. Let's see if it's gonna focus. There you go. And then I'm just gonna pick anything. Oh, wait a minute, we didn't code anything about a course here on the display message, so it's not gonna show anything. Okay, before that, let me just remove this one and say, put a string there that says student name, right? Student name, and then concatenate it to string username. And then to move on the next line, right, you're gonna put this item, this line, or these words VBCRLF. It's like you're telling the code that jump to the next line. Anything that comes after this line, it's gonna be on a new line. Okay, then yes, you have to put another concatenator, so that because you're gonna put another string on that side, or a variable. And then now I want to jump to this line here, so I'm gonna put an underscore and then press enter, right? So that I'm saying I'm continuing this line, I'm continuing this whole line of code in this next line here. Okay, and then this one, VBCRLF, it tells the code that jump to the next line. But here I'm saying, with this underscore, I'm saying that this line of code here, I'm gonna finish it on a new line. Let me say on a new line. Yes, I hope you get that. I know you will get that. Okay, now here I'm just gonna say course. Course. Okay, and give it a course. CMB with text. Yeah, save it, and then let's run it and see if it's gonna display something. My name is Ralph. Wait a minute. Okay, it's working. I've made a mistake somewhere. Oh, yeah. I forgot something. You'll see why I had to put something in here. I will explain later. So for now, let me remove them. So of course, it's going to confuse you, right? Let me just remove. I will explain later. There was something that I was doing. You will see later. Okay. Now let's just run it again and see. It's not supposed to show so many courses. I was wondering what was going on. Okay, see? Perfect. Now I'm just gonna... We're doing software development, right? And then let's submit. There you go. Student name, Ralph, course 18, software development. Okay, now let's code this clear button before we move any further, right? Okay, now you're just gonna come here and double click on it. Fine. After that, we're gonna say txt username to clear everything on the text box. And then the next one was cmb course dot selected item. Let's set it to default number 0. 0. And then let me give it some space so that I can breathe. Okay, here let's clear those radio buttons. Rad dot checked equals to false. Let me just copy and paste them to save some time. Don't forget to change that. Let me just go to equals to false. Quickly copy that, and then the last two was list subjects dot items dot clear, and then LBL dot text, give it nothing, an empty string, right? You know, anything inside double quotes is a string, an empty string. Yeah. Okay, now let's change these things. Here it was rad this was fine. I'll just speed that up. Okay, now we're all set. Okay, what was next? Now let's program these levels. This level radio buttons, so that when a user can click, we can take whatever data is stored behind that radio button. Right now, let's store some items. Some things behind those radio buttons. We're gonna use if statements just above display message and under validate course combo box. We're gonna give a comment. I'm just gonna say level of study, and we're gonna start by declaring a string level of study string. As string equals to nothing. Let's give it nothing at first, and then we're gonna say if the first radio button is checked, and we're gonna say is equal to true. If it's checked, then let this level of study string be or store level 2, and we're gonna set an else if the user checked level 3. My gosh, what's going on? That's too true. Then the last one, we're just gonna say else. Let's see if it's gonna work. Else, the last one, let me just quickly copy that and paste it down here and change it to. Okay, so if the user checks the first radio button, which is level 2, let level of study this variable be level 2, and so on. Let it be. If they checked level 3, let it be level 3, and so on. Okay, let's see if it's gonna work. Before that, let's display the level of study on the label. We're gonna see double quotes. We're gonna say level of study before that. Let's also copy these and paste it here, telling the code editor that we are moving to the next line. Okay, now here we're just gonna put level, that variable level of study there. Let's see if it's gonna work. username is Ralph. I'm gonna select that I'm doing software development. I'm in level 2. If I was in level 2, let's try level 4 and see if that also will work. There you go, it did work. Okay, now let's validate. Let's make sure that the user actually puts their level of study, right? Okay, let's see if the clear button works perfectly. Okay, now let's go back. To do that, we're also going to use an if statement. We're going to say if not open brackets chk, no, it's rad level 2 dot checked. If it's not checked, or let's go to the next one, rad level 3 dot checked. If those in brackets are not checked, okay, sort of, or rad. We're also gonna test if this line is gonna work, because I'm just doing it. Okay, let's see. If these ones, all of those are not checked, please show this message box dot show. Please select your level of study. Okay, and then we're gonna give the message box a title, level of study missing. I'm just gonna give it any name. Then here I'm gonna give it an OK button. Let me actually jump to the next line. Okay, and an error icon. And an error icon. Okay, after that, focus. Really? Let's see if that's gonna work. Oh, it did. Okay, let's move on to the list box. Let's make sure the user selects their subject. Okay, so how do we do that? We're gonna do that by using an if statement just under this level of study code and above display message. Okay, give it a comment, validate, or let me just say make sure that the user selected a subject, at least a subject, right? We're gonna start by saying if no. We're gonna start by adding. Yeah. The first comment should be add subjects. Okay, we're gonna add them by using a for loop, right? A for loop. We're gonna say for each selected for each selected item as object in list dot selected items. Yeah, let's start by declaring dim selected subject or subjects as string equals to 0. Equals to nothing. Let's give it nothing. We're gonna say selected subjects is equal to selected subjects let's put an end before equal to, so that we add it to what it was before. Okay, since we're going to select, a user can select multiple items, and then we're going to say end yeah. So basically we are adding what what they selected. No. So for each selected item, we're going to say here, we're going to say subject is equal to selected item. Is that right? Okay, before we can explain anything, let's see if this code is going to run. Okay. Let me put my name. Selected course. And then if you want to select multiple, okay, let me first select one and let's see, submit. Oh, before that, let's display what? Subjects. We're going to start by saying, by jumping to the next line, right? Subjects. I don't know if we can hear that. String. It's called selected subjects. Yeah. Let's try to run that and see if it's gonna add anything. We're learning, right? Let's see. It's a try and fail, but never fail to try, right? Let's see. Cozy. For loops are really, really important. See, it's adding them. So there's something I want to do here. I want to remove this thing. I want to remove this last part, right? How do we do that? Trim it in a way. There's two ways you can do that. So I'll show you the first one. You can use an if statement. I'll just go under here and say if selected subject dot ends with these two characters inside the quotes, right? It's a comma and a a comma and a space. Space is also counted. Then let it be this. Let selected subject be equal to selected subject dot substring from 0 to the number of characters inside the value, inside the data that's going to be stored in this variable, right? This is how we count it. Dot length. Then let's remove 2 last characters. Okay. Let's see if it's gonna work. It did work, right? See, it removed the last character. Okay, now let's see if it's gonna work by selecting multiple subjects. Let's say submit. It worked perfectly. Yeah, so okay, the last part, hobbies. Oh, before that, let's make sure that the user have selected their subjects. Okay, we're gonna do that by, we're gonna go here and say if list dot selected items, if it's less than 0, then let's see if it's gonna work. Then is it gonna work? Nope. It's giving me an error. Let's see if I remove that S. Okay, let's see. Let's give it a message box. Please select your subjects. Okay, first give it a title. Subjects missing. Give it an OK button. Let's jump. An error icon, yes. And then, is it gonna highlight? Let's find out. Dot focus. Then let's exit sub. Okay. Ralph. Level 2, multiple. Those two. Let me clear first. To select multiple, you have to press shift and then select the subject you want, right? Press and hold shift and select the subject you want. Wait. See, there's a way you can solve this. As you can see, it has cleared everything because I've pressed this thing. You can actually fix that by saying, let's go back to here. You have to remove this clear because it's going to clear everything. You're just going to say list selection. Is it selection? I mean clear. Yeah, clear selected. Yeah, it's supposed to be like this. Yeah. Okay, let's see. There you go. Put my name. Isn't it, we're trying to see if it's gonna work, if the user doesn't, is it gonna show the message box if the user doesn't select any subject? Okay, submit. Oh, it didn't. Doesn't mean anything, right? Okay, let me select it. I don't think it's gonna work. Let's see. There you go. So you have to use selected index instead of selected items. Okay, we got that now. Okay, now let's move on. Let's move on to hobbies. We're gonna use if statements here. So how are we gonna do that? Let's add hobbies. Okay, we're gonna start by declaring a hobby variable. Hobbies variable is a string and give it nothing. And then if the first checkbox is checked, true, then give the hobby variable playing soccer string. Playing soccer. And let's say let's put a comma and a space bar. We're gonna trim that after, okay, by using that if statement or the other way. Okay, after that, okay, let's create another if statement because I've tried to use an else statement, it didn't work, so we're not gonna waste our time going there. Let's just create another one, or maybe if somebody knows how to do this inside one if statement, instead of multiple. We can do it, or you can help us. Okay, and then dot check if is equal to true. Then after that, I'm just gonna copy everything. It's gonna help you. It's gonna help you code faster, right? With video, playing video games. Don't forget to name your controls, right? Don't forget to name them. I don't know if I've mentioned it, but you have to name them. Like, see, this checkbox, it's playing soccer. Checkbox. Make sure you use like real words that have meanings, not just PLY something. You see, yeah. So it can be readable, so that you don't. How do I say it? So that you don't confuse yourself, yeah. Or maybe somebody else can read your code if it's checked. Oh, I can see that there's a huge error. Oh. Then let it be playing video games. Okay, let's copy everything. We're just gonna change a few. Yeah, we're gonna say CHK writing code, and then here we're gonna say writing code. There you go. Now let's just go on ahead and validate them, right? Before validating, let's display them and trim them. We're gonna use that other way. First, we're gonna tell the code editor that we're going to the next line. Okay, and then hobbies. Yeah. Hobbies. Just give it one since it's the last one. Okay, it's gonna be hobbies. It's just gonna put that variable there. How do we trim it? We're gonna say dot trim end, which is, I think, yeah, it's, yeah. Okay, wait, it ends with, they all end with. You can trim it by saying, yeah, you know, these two are characters, right? A comma and a space bar. A comma and a space bar. A comma and a space bar, yes. Okay. And then you're going to say dot to char array. And then I think this one is the most simpler one than using an if statement. I don't know which one you'd prefer. Where is it? Where did I trim it? I think here. See, let me just put a comment. Trim is the end of, trim the end of selected subject variable. You can name it whatever you want. See, it makes you find your code faster. You see what it does. Yeah. Okay, now let's go on ahead and try if this will work. Yeah, but I'm pretty sure it's going to work. Okay, let's run. Ralph Takadani. Okay. Let's select multiple. Playing video games. Okay, it did trim, right? But it didn't show all of them. I'll show you why. Okay, it's because we didn't add an end symbol before, cause we are adding it to what it was before actually, right? You have to add an end before these things. Before the equal sign. Save. Control S, save. And then let's run it. Name is Ralph. Let's see. And there you go. That's how you do it. Okay, so I wanted to show you something else, right? What if somebody else is doing robotics and their subjects are not contact center, electronics, and what so on? How do we do that? How do we change these subjects? By just, I don't know if you hear that, but ignore them. I don't know. Okay, you do it by, okay, I thought about it. You can do it by, when a user selects maybe robotics, it has to show robotic subjects here. How do we do that? You can do that by, okay, start by double clicking on your combo box, because we're gonna code everything inside this combo box. Double click inside it, okay. I prefer it to be right on top, but okay, make sure that before this is very important. Make sure that before, right after you double click on your form loader, go back to the form and then double click on the combo box so that it can be here. Otherwise you can just highlight everything and copy and paste and put it somewhere. I want it to be under the form load, right? So that the code doesn't find it way down there. You see, it makes the code read faster. If I put it up here, okay. Since everything is here, let me just comment this one out so that it doesn't add anything. I'm gonna comment it out by pressing this thing. This icon, okay. And then we're gonna physically add everything. Let me just copy everything here. Copy. You still remember, it still had some items in here. You're gonna come and click on your combo box, press the play button, this little play button, and then edit items. Paste everything and then edit it out so that you can save typing time. Okay. So yeah, let's keep everything like that. Okay, now we're gonna use an if statement. We're gonna say, since we know, okay, first, something that's called variable scope, like declaring a variable outside every procedure, like just, okay, or inside the class, not inside a procedure, inside a class, a public class, right here. Like I'm gonna say dim, what was it? Courses, right? Dim string courses. Course as string. Give it nothing now. Okay. By typing it outside every procedure, it can be accessed by all these procedures inside here, or procedures or functions. Okay. Now let's go back to the. Let me highlight it actually. And subjects inside. And courses, or let me just say courses. Jesus. Okay, courses. So that you can see it's a procedure. Okay. We're gonna start by saying if cmb dot selected items, dot selected index, not items, index is equal to 0. Remember, we know 0 is what? Please select. We're gonna say that variable we declared outside or inside the class, string courses. Where was that? string courses, it will be select a course. Okay, now we're gonna go to the else if go to the next one. If it's number one, if the user chooses robotics, let the string course be robotics. Okay, now if it's robotics, now let's add those subjects here, robotics subjects. We're just gonna copy this one and paste it here. Let's add robotic subjects inside the word. My battery is low. Okay, let's just finish this one. Okay, but before that, let's clear whatever that's inside the list box by saying list.items.clear. That's gonna clear everything inside the list box. Okay, now we're gonna go on ahead and okay, let's change. I'm just gonna type any because I don't know what they do there. Okay, I'm just gonna say programming. Sure, they do programming. Electronics, they do electronics. I'm just gonna say engineering. Okay, engineering fundamentals. Excuse my English. Okay, and then the last one, I'm just gonna say mechatronics here. Mechatronics. Okay. Okay, but what if the user selects our course, software development? Steering course is gonna be software development. Okay, and these are the courses inside software development. We're just gonna cut it now since we don't need it there. We're gonna paste it down here. So just like that. Okay, now what's left? What's left is to try and see if it's gonna work. I should have saved it before that, but let's see. Oh, wait. Before that, let's clear everything like what it was before. Let's clear everything inside the list box. Okay, press play. Let's see, robotics. There you go, it's showing. There you go, simple as that. So that's how you do it. It's gonna display whatever you're gonna. Let's see if it's gonna display if I choose robotics. My name is Ralph. I'm doing robotics in level 4. I'm doing programming. These are my subjects. Okay, I love writing codes and playing video games. There you go. And that's how you do it. And that's it for today. So on the next video, we're gonna talk more about calculations and stuff like that. I'll see you in the next video.